Hello, everyone. Day 30 is now complete. I started from this town early in the morning at a place called Cacabelos. You see here, I went to the church on the left, and that's the Camino. It's a nice little town, but it seems like this town is ignored in favor of Villafranca de la Bierza ahead of town because there's some history behind the town, which I got to was the first town after about 7 kilometers. It was nice. Had a huge castle, another huge castle. Today's walk was 23 kilometers. The last 6 or 7 kilometers was extremely painful for me. Seems like I had either a shin splint or my muscle at the lower part of my shin locked up. So even though it was flat on asphalt or on sidewalk, I had to do it really slow. It was started off kind of cramped up, and I tried to stretch it. I felt it this morning, but then it got really bad. And then when I stopped at about 8 kilometers prior, I took a rest, or maybe 6, and it locked up. And I started walking, and I took my shoes off for like 20 minutes, stretched my feet or massaged my feet. And then when I started walking, it was like a 10 out of 10. I could barely, it was almost like cramping. Over time, using my sticks, I went slow and I used sticks even though it was flat. It loosened up. Pain probably went down to a 4. You can see here, there was a long stretch where they said you could take an alternate route, but I saved a kilometer, but I was like literally on a highway. There wasn't many cars, but you're always like trying to find the gravel next to the highway just to make sure. Always have your head up on a swivel. Yeah, so there was on my way to Villafranca. It was really nice. There was a lot of grape farms. This is the time of year I found out that they pick the grapes quickly and for the vineyards. So you see them scrambling in the early part of the trip. You saw a lot of grapes just sitting there and no one was doing anything. So supposedly this is the season to pick the grapes. As you could tell, the landscape is much more beautiful today. It was a lot of green, a lot of mountainscapes. Every time I walk, I think I'm done with pictures, and it's just like, oh, this is really cool. So I'm sorry for so many similar, but every time I pass a church, all of the churches today, except for this small chapel at the very end, it was called. It's in a town called the Portal. I'm going to get it wrong. It's the town right before this, about a kilometer away. There was a little chapel, and I did a prayer for a friend who had asked me to pray for somebody in her family rather. And you see here, there's some cool artwork along the way. And really, I'll let you enjoy the rest of the pictures. I do comment, I was walking in the middle of a huge valley. It was fairly flat, but it was along like these large, the lower valley against these large like mountains on both sides. So I try to take pictures, but I don't think they do it justice. They were really, really high. I'll stop. So I hope you like these pictures. Tomorrow, I'm taking on the big leap, Osobero. Tomorrow is going to be almost a 25-kilometer day. We'll see how far I get after I do Osobero. If I can't do it on my leg, I may have to call a taxi to get to my next town. The next day after that is going down 2,000 feet. So I got to make sure I'm ready for the next 2 days. Looking forward to it. Talk soon. Hope you enjoy the rest of the pics. Good morning. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning here. I'm about 12 kilometers
a little more than 12, almost 13 kilometers from when I started this morning. And I'm walking in the valley of a pretty large mountain. It's kind of peaceful. You see this major highway above me, and it's probably 100 to 150 feet. I took some pictures, but I don't think you can understand the height above. And I think that's kind of where I'm heading. It's pretty steep up there. So I'm walking another kilometer or so, hit another cafe. Always have an espresso, or I try not to have more than 3, but you gotta keep some form of energy. I'm comfortable. It's in the 60s. The sun's not out yet. They said after 12 it's gonna go as high as 78, so it could fluctuate. Started at like 59. I had a jacket, got hot, took off my jacket, got cold, put on the jacket. But I'm doing well. You may see I'm wearing the same clothes every day for a couple days. You kind of piggyback, but you don't have a lot of laundry service available to you. And Sundays it's the worst, man. These guys, they open up the restaurants at like 8 o'clock. So yesterday I got bad candy, potato chips, and the guy made me a chicken sandwich. That was it. And then I was in bed or in my room by 7 and just chilled. So Sundays are like the days you kind of like had to load up with snacks and deal with stuff. So I'm heading to a town called Ambastmestas, something like that. I destroy all these town names. And then tomorrow will be the big Oso. I keep mentioning it. It's going to rain tomorrow, supposedly. Hopefully when the weather, it's going to be sunny here, but it's, it says showers could be rain. You just deal with it. As my friends have already told me, I learned from my Washington State friends, you embrace the suck and keep going. As long as you're protected, you're fine. And as long as it's not like thunderstorms, which I hope it's not. The next day I'll be going down that mountain. So if it's raining or slippery, I'll have to be careful. All right, so I'm doing well. Another bend here and I should be at the cafe, probably less than a kilometer. And then you'll see a video later on. Ciao.